Is it aesthetic?
Turning, but they have such different lights.
Like the flowers and the lights. All right, let's just do this and get on with the day. Oh, wait. I don't like that lighting.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
There's no.
It's blustery. That's what blustery is.
Oh God.
When I look outside, it's freaking blustery. And I don't like it. What?
Is it like?
It's clear. It's just, the wind is blowing and it snowed a little bit overnight.
So that
Or this morning,
added to
early hours. So it's just blowing snow around. I don't like it. It's not fun. This is why we left Nebraska. And it's so funny how God's little sense of humor. So funny. Leave Nebraska. Leave the house, the career, the job, whatever. Ideas of a life that I thought I had. Only to end up in a place colder. What are you going to do? Hello, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I found the part that broke on my tire.
on your tire.
On my tire. I was like, I had it, and then I lost it, and then I found it this morning on the kitchen floor because I was like, I had it right here so I could show people what broke. And use rubber. Don't put metal on metal. Use rubber tire caps. People use metal ones. These are freaking aluminum. See, I wonder what kind of dumbass got rich just from making these aluminum. See, aluminum in extreme temperatures, it's a soft metal to begin with. So no wonder when I put the valve stem on it just went snap, You know what? And this stuff happens to people that are way less competent than me. What am I going to do? Call AAA. Call AAA. So tire sensors. I wonder what kind of dumbass got rich. I had the whole sensor. I don't know what happened to it. It's the valve stem, and then it looks like it's a flat piece. And they don't work anyway. How many people, okay, I put air in my tires. And then the valves, it's always going off because the sensors go break. It's a freaking racket. It's a racket. Just go back to before people ruin stuff. And another train of thought, in accordance to stupid ideas, New Mexico is initiating an idea. They started their first one. I saw it on Twitter. They have boxes. Little boxes with heaters in them, just the size for a human being, a person that wants to get rid of their kid for one reason or another, to put the kid in the box. And then you put the kid in the box, and then a sensor goes off. There's a kid in the box. There's a kid in the box. So however long it takes for someone to get notified and walk to the box, to unlock the box, to get the kid out of the box, the whole time that kid's in a box. These are the clever endeavors that they come up with in New Mexico. I think that people are really ready for a change in leadership. That's what, and it's kind of, ironically, that's what, the consensus in a lot of astrologers are coming up with. I got to have a wonderful conversation with Crystal Time last night. We spent almost an hour. I was like, her daughter brought her in a bowl of ice cream, and we just kept talking because she would say something and then I would verify. And I'd just be like, stop, Marge, just let her get through it, We hung out for about an hour and almost an hour and a half. But it was so delightful. It was good. It was good for me. And I was just like, no, I feel like I'm taking too. You haven't even. Your ice cream is going to be a milkshake. And I was like, that's so funny that her daughter brought her ice cream because I bring mom ice cream. It's something I do. So that just lets me know more that we're in alignment. And she's in a caliber of her own, astrology-wise. And I've been tracking astrology my whole life, and there's so many different versions and interpretations. And I look at each one of those, and when people line up to like tropical, that's one vibrational frequency. And then you have the people that line up with sidereal, and that they're a whole other frequency, which is a whole. Frequencies and timelines are interchangeable in this instance in my thinking process. Yeah, so that's a timeline that they're on, right? And when the more people look at a picture on a cave on a wall, and see that picture, it makes that reality. It makes that timeline happen. And see, and she was sharing with me that she was seeing evidence of the Pluto return in 2 years, and that's a timeline. And now it's like, I don't know, the energies. I am so, see. Okay, let me finish talking about my reading before I get veer too far off. So it was just really cool that she verified some things for me. It's really cool. Every day I go out there, I'm just being me. I'm just being me to the best of my ability. And when I say the best of my ability, that means I know my shadow aspects. I know my character defects. I know that I can be a big old huge asshole. I know I can be a dick. I know it. I have been defending myself my whole life. It's a knee-jerk reaction. Most of the time, I come forward. I come in peace. I'm not always, I've been made fun of a lot. A lot of people in my life have been like really friendly and really nice to me in a very condescending, belittling, in a down talky way. It's peculiar. It's peculiar. The energy that I've been met with. I was telling Crystal time, I was like, my whole life I've been a person of character, a very strong person. My power, my energy is strong. And I'm in this little small package, right? But I come forth strong. And people don't like that. They get scared. And then I go into like someplace, grocery store, the clinic, wherever. I come forth with my exuberance, and people are scared. And oftentimes when people get scared, they like to do power plays. And the smaller town you live in, the bigger the power play they like to do. Hi, how can I help you? I need this, this, and this. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. Well, who can? Oh, and then you get, I call it being the pot on the stove where they just move you around. You never get no solution for anything that you might need. Yeah. It's all a crack. So she verified a lot of really cool stuff and where my placements are. Like, I can't remember. See, and that's the thing is I wish I would have recorded it because I would have watched that thing enough times that I would have freaking memorized all of every. And I know I have it. I have the report. She told me where my placements were. Like, what is in the Hammer of Thor. So no wonder I come down aggressively. I try to soften my edges. I try real hard. I do. She said, I don't know. Her prices are so reasonable. That's why I'm like, these readers that charge freaking $300, $400, $500 for their interpretations of them putting your birthday in a chart and then getting it, and then they yeah. Well, that's not what Crystal Time does. Crystal Time spends the time. Hers are personalized, but a lot of people, they don't, and they charge too much, and that's greedy and selfish. And oh, here it is. And you know why I'm such a, I'm a qualified, I qualify myself to be an advocate, an actual advocate to speak out for orphans and stuff like that? Because my mom was one. Yeah. They've been doing this stuff in the system the whole time for our own good, and it's time that it needs to stop. They just want to perpetuate their CPS. That's human trafficking. Why don't you create a viable system where the parent isn't so stressed out that they don't know how they're going to take care of the kid and give it up in the first place? Why don't you make that world happen? Socialites, pretentious politicians, bureau brats. That's the thing, man. Things have to change. And in the niceties, we're past niceties. They can keep locking me. I'm going to keep talking about it. They're not qualified. The governor of the state in which I live is the 12th generation. That's a long line of nepotism. We're ready for some new ideas. Yeah. Things that are actually viable. Yeah. Because your misappropriation of funds and your C- junior high school projects are not leading this forward. It's like living in 1996. That's how the control freaks like it. Yeah. They like it like that. And when I think about how many of them are freaking wasted all the time. They go to their events, their parties, their engagements. There's freaking free bar at all of them. All on taxpayers' dime. They're getting all blazed, loaded. Man, this freaking state's full of freaking drunks, man. Full of people drinking and driving. Beer cans all over the road. I don't know if I've ever lived in a place like this. Maybe it's because the place is so small and everybody knows everybody. It's such a trip. Being the outsider, it's easy to see how things operate, you know? Because when you're a part of the system, when you're a part of the club, when you're a buddy and a bro, people are willing to overlook so much grossness. I'm not willing to overlook that grossness because I was a part of that grossness. Right. I was a part of all of these things that they said. I was a witness to my mother. When I was born, they cut her uterus in half. Took out one of her ovaries. I wonder what they did to her eggs, where all of her eggs went. Scientific studies, tests. She didn't authorize that. There was nothing wrong with her. She was a vibrant, healthy young woman. Just gave birth to me. Yeah. And they mutilated her. All so that they could perpetuate the big pharma. What they did is they gave her hormone replacement drugs. They replaced her fake ones with natural ones because they mutilated her body, called Premarin. How about this for a synchronicity? I've talked about this before. Premarin has horse urine in it. Crystal time is all about the urine. It's always all about the urine. I might one day. Just to try it, but I don't know. Anyway, she had a mare. She had a horse that was one of those urine mares, Ma. To verify that what I knew to be true was true, because they called them urine mares or something. I can't remember, but you know, so that they can cut. And it made it hard for my brother and I growing up because it created a hormonal imbalance in her. It did. She was also very intuitive, very psychic. Always. I could never pull anything over on Ma. It's like she'd watch a video of me in my misbehaving. It got to the point that I would just outwardly tell her, Mom, I'm going to go out. I'll probably, you know, I won't do anything too stupid. I think she's trusted me to my own devices, and she's always also laid on the importance of me that I will always have to deal with the consequences of my own actions, and that she will not bail me out. She always made that clear. Huh, Mom? Yeah, that's right. So, and she never did. So, I never really, well, anyway, it's that song that makes my train of thought derail. It's the part in the song, but I don't recognize it until after it starts. So it's like it starts and I don't know, oh, it's this song. Otherwise, I just advance it. So, as far as stuff that's going on in the world that people are talking about, you know, I'm staying off them. I'm getting triggered too much all over the media today. It's just BS, BS, BS. You know, I don't. How about this for a consideration? How about we're considering this? I've seen a video footage one time of Vladimir Putin, and I've read his chart before and stuff like that. And I've seen a video of this like dictator. He picks up this dog because there's people in this world that just, oh, a dog is just a dog, you know. There's people that just, it's just an animal. They don't recognize it as having a, you know, having a spirit or soul, having a living an experience like a human, just as a lower perspective. It's just a dog. And this guy picks up this dog, and he's like by the scruff or the neck, and he's just like, oh yeah, look at this dog. I have this dog for you. I am man, and I hold this dog like a dick, right? He's holding this dog, right? And Vladimir Putin, he's not a very big man. He's only like 5'9". I mean, he's not like, it's stature-wise. That's why he's, anyway, he's got that Napoleon thing going on. Or that power trip thing. Anyway, he goes running up and grabs the puppy, and he's like, dude, you know, you don't freaking treat living things like that. And so when you watch videos like that, you see stuff like that, and then you see the stuff that's on the media, you know, you just got to ask yourself, does that really add up? I mean, because they're like, oh, he's bombing, and it's like, he's trying to get his kids back. That is a very significant primary reason why this is happening, because of human trafficking. Think about Biden, his son, all of his freaking workings, you know, with his laptop and the Ukraine shit and all the shady shit, you know. He's trying to get his kids, they're trying to get their kids back. They're trying to save their kids. Yeah, because this country is all about freaking ruining lives, you know, with their perversions. Yeah, it's been happening for years. I'm a product of it, you know. There's a lot of people. There's not people. See, that's why I speak out, because I'm like a cockroach. For every cockroach that got raped as a 10-month-old baby, there's 1,000 more cockroaches out there that aren't going to talk about it. And people need to know that this stuff exists. And we go on and we have viable lives, and most of us end up falling through the cracks of society basically because we see the bullshit in every situation. And then some of us are so outspoken enough, we go into a situation, we call out the bullshit. People don't want to recognize their part in the bullshit, so it's just easier to block and ignore. People like me. People like me aren't going to be ignored forever. We're the ones with actual life experience. Not just reading something on here or in a book about something that happened to other people. My life story, my mother's life story, is an actual historical account of what bullshit this country has been since they took over Turtle Island. Turtle Island's coming back around, yeah. Yeah, this country has a lot of karma to pay back. A lot. On the basis of justice and fairness. That's one thing that Crystal Time did verify that I remember. I wish I would have recorded it. I would have put it up on here. Is that I am all about justice and fairness. And it's funny because like where my Saturn is and stuff like that, it's like I'm just me being me. That's all I can say, man. It's pretty cool how accurate it is. I appreciate her interpretation of me, and it was very delightful to spend some time with her. I wish she would have just ate her bowl of ice cream, really. I would have felt better about the whole thing. Like when I was telling stories, just eat your ice cream. And then I showed her this. I showed her my spirograph. Because she's like, you're artistic. You get a lot of outlet in your art. And I was like, well, when I pay attention to... And I showed her I had this, and she was like, oh! That's my favorite toy. Like, I brought like a flood of memories back for her, I'm sure. You know? And I appreciate that I got to be a part of that. So I incorporate this. I told her how I assigned each piece to a planet. And then that planet, the ruling color of the planet, I use and create my own idea of like a sacred geometry of a timestamp of a person at their first breath, according to birth time. So I got to share stuff like that with her too. No wonder it almost took an hour and a half. But she's also 2 hours ahead of me. She's in Canada, Ma. She's in Canada.
Oh, that's quite a distance.
Yeah. Oh, I should have told her about Letterkenny. But I told her about Northern Exposure. If she had a P.O. box, I might email her. I told her I'd email her. I've had kind of energetically, I've been bombarded all day long. I just have been laying in that room with my face in the sun. And I come out, I'm like, you need something to eat, Ma? Yeah. I make her something, I go back and lay down. And in the evening, I come out and hang out with her because she's very social. And she doesn't like, she doesn't like to be left alone that long. But I need to withdraw. I need to recharge my batteries. I need to do that for me. Especially on days like this when the whole planet is buzzing, vibrating because of imposed bullshit. So, I don't know. There's always ever. And I did go to the chiropractor yesterday. Oh, I did. And she gave me exercises to do. I did some a little while ago. I have other ones to do. I'm not good with assignments, but I really want it to get better, so I have to.
Did you feel a difference?
Oh, she's like, I brought in my satchel with my medical record from when I was in the Air Force, and I have a pile of papers like this designated for just the chiropractor. And I pat him down on the table. She walks in and she's like, what's this? And I was like, oh, these are, I was always taught to be prepared. She's like, oh, well, we don't need all that. So, and then she did some acupuncture too. Yeah, so hopefully I'll get to see her. I have an appointment next week. She's moving middle of April, so things are changing at the office, so. Anyway, that's been in the background. I've been running my mouth a while. When I started the talk, I said to myself, you think I'll learn? I like doing it at different times to catch different people, And I get so busy in the mornings that the days get carried away with me to do them in the morning. But it's not a good idea for me to do these right before I feed the big face benzo. Because that's what I get in the background is his whining. Because it's almost time for him to nibble his kibble. All of them are just looking at me with their eyes beaming. So that's wonderful. I landed 10. Aloha. Tire sensors are the devil. They are freaking so dumb. I hate them. Oh, I just like, it's like, and it's funny. What gets me through life is sometimes I'll imagine the person that invents this or that that comes up with this bullshit, these extra accessory parts, the stuff that isn't needed in life, that us freaking basic people that are just trying to get by don't want to pay for your fucking winter and summer resorts, but this nickel dime a la carte shit that they're doing. I just picture them standing there and I just freaking rack them. Male, female, I don't care. I just rack them right in the junk, right in the box. Hard as I can. Just punt them. Box punt them. On behalf of all the freaking people that are just trying to get by and they gotta freaking get rich. Scumbag, greedy mofos. Every person with that heart space. And I see it everywhere. I watch this guy. He's a Virgo. I don't know what that means right now to me. I'm biased right now. So I'm gonna just stop it right there. But he is so freaking sheltered. And I was just listening to him talk about his hope and his interpretation of this war. And I'm just like, what fucking rock? Lives in a big, huge house. His wife is out of the country on a yoga retreat. His mom's in town helping out with his daughters. Because fucking guys like that don't do shit like that by themselves. They always got help. While so many people are freaking just barely hanging on, keeping their freaking and he's the kind of guy that charges freaking probably $200-300 for his readings and shit. That's the shit. That's the hypocrisy is among us. It's freaking ridiculous. He was talking about hypocrisy too. I was like, yeah, listen to yourself. How come you didn't know this was coming up? I knew it was coming up. I've been talking about it for couple years now. Some of those chart readers kind of miss stuff, but they live in those big old houses and live in the lap of luxury. And how many people have you put in a house? I'm going to put people in houses. I'm going to take people off the street and put them in homes. That's going to be part of what I'm going to do, my legacy. And then maybe if I show people how easy it is, maybe they'll try it too.